Hello and welcome to Read Up. In today's video, I would be analyzing a sonnet by William Wordsworth. It is titled as "The World is Too Much with Us." So let's begin the video. Let's have some background knowledge related to this sonnet. So, this sonnet was written in 1802 when Industrial Revolution was at its peak. In this sonnet, the speaker criticizes people for running after materialism and distancing themselves from nature. What happened when Industrial Revolution came into existence? So people started running to the cities and they started running towards making money and towards making wealth. So all their connection or all their bond with nature or with spiritualism was lost with the passage of time. So this is what is the topic of this sonnet. As we know that William Wordsworth is a romantic poet who is considered as the worshipper of nature. His poetry shows the relationship between man and the natural world, and that is why he is called the worshipper of nature. After the arrival of Industrial Revolution, people turned away from nature, God and spiritualism. So this sonnet expresses anger and despair over people's excessive interest in money. Like the whole concern of their life became just making money and spending it. So this is the theme of this sonnet. Okay, let's have line by line summary of the sonnet. It says, "The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending, we lay waste our powers." So here the world does not mean the universe or the world in which we live, but rather it refers to the worldly cares like money, wealth, possessions and power. These are the things which we mostly run after in this world. This is the thing that the speaker is referring to. Late and soon means that we have done this thing in the past, we are doing this now, and we will continue doing this thing in the future as well. Getting and spending means that the whole concern of people became just to get money, just to acquire wealth and to spend it. So they are not thinking about anything else. Their whole focus is on just making money and spending it. So in these two lines, the speaker says that we are too much busy and engaged with the worldly things. We are spending our complete energy and time in acquiring money and spending it. He means that we all are tied in our greed for more money and worldly possessions. Next, little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away, a sordid boon. A sordid boon means a kind of gift which is not useful or a worst kind of gift. So in these two lines, the speaker means that because of the reason that we are engaged in worldly things too much, because of the fact that we are running after money, wealth and worldly possessions so much that we have lost our connection with nature. It says that we have given our hearts away, that we have lost our connection, we have lost our emotion with nature. We no longer have any emotion or any feeling towards nature. And this lack of attachment with nature is a kind of gift that we have given to ourselves. And this gift is a very worst kind of gift that we have given to ourselves. Next, this sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours. So, from here, the speaker is going to describe some of the very beautiful aspect of nature that we are missing or we are not noticing because we are too much engaged with our worldly things, with getting money, with acquiring money and spending it. Let me tell you some meaning. Bears her bosom. So, in literal meaning, it means that the sea shows itself to the moon, or the sea undiscovers its breast to the moon. But metaphorically, it refers to a very scientific fact that we know. We know that the ocean tides of the sea gets elevated with the light that comes from the moon, and this is the matter or this is the scientific fact which the speaker here is romanticizing, or the speaker here is describing metaphorically. He is personifying this relationship between sea and the moon. Howl means to make a noise. Like we know that the wind blows, it makes a great noise. So, now in these two lines, the poet is metaphorically describing the relationship between moon and the sea. He is personifying the ways how ocean tides are affected by the moon. And then the poet says that the wind which is sleeping now will make great noise all day. Next, and are up gathered now like sleeping flowers. For everything we are out of tune. Out of tune means we are out of connection or we are out of touch. As in previous lines, the speaker has described some of the beautiful aspect of nature. So here also he is saying that the wind which will make noise all day is sleeping like flowers. He says that the wind is sleeping like flowers. So it is complete calmness all around. It is all peacefulness in the night. So first, the speaker has described many beautiful aspects of nature. He has talked about the beautiful sceneries of sea and the moon and the peacefulness or the calmness of the night. So first, he has described all these beautiful things about nature, and then he says, for everything we are out of tune. That for this beautiful aspect of nature and for everything that he has described in the previous lines, we are out of tune. That we no longer have any feeling for these things. And the reason is just that we have become too much greedy. We have become so greedy that we are running just after the money, after wealth, after worldly possessions, and we no longer care about these natural beauties. Next, it moves us not. Great God, I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. It moves us not. He says that it no longer influences us. It means nature or its beauties. So he says that it no longer influences us because we are too much engaged in our worldly things. So it no longer leaves any impact on us. Suckled means raised or nourished. Creed outworn means old beliefs. Here the poet gets angry and he gets frustrated with the behavior of mankind, that how they are ignoring nature or how they are losing their relationship with nature just for the sake of money or just for the sake of materialistic things. He appeals to God that he would rather be a pagan who was raised or who was nourished believing in some outdated religion and old beliefs. The speaker appeals to God that he would rather be a pagan than someone who is out of touch with nature. and distracted by worldly things. Next, so might I, standing on this pleasant lea, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Lea means meadow or open grassland, forlorn means lonely. So now in these two lines, the speaker explains why he wants to become a pagan, or why he wants to become someone who was raised with some old beliefs or with some outdated religion. Because he thinks that in today's time where human being has lost their connection with nature, he feels lonely or he feels sad. So this is the reason why he wants to become a pagan. And he thinks if he were a pagan, he could look at the land in front of him and see something that would make him less forlorn or less sad. He thinks that if he were a pagan, he would have glimpses of nature that would provide him companionship, and because of this, he would feel less forlorn. So, this is the reason why he wants to become a pagan. Next, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wreathed horn. Proteus is a sea god in Greek mythology. Triton is also a son of Greek god in mythology. Wreathed horn is Triton's conch shell which he blows. So basically, these all are the concept of Greek mythology to which the speaker is referring here. The speaker thinks that if he were a pagan, he could have seen all these things. He feels that if he were a pagan, he could have glances in which he could have seen Proteus rising from the sea, or he could have seen Triton blowing his horn. And these glimpses could have made him more hopeful. So, this was all about this sonnet.